here. They are definitely open. Rapid Ingress!
Welcome back to another Rapid Ingress. There's a lot going on this week. We have the Warhammer Worlds. A lot of people that we know are out there. Hopefully they're having a lot of fun. But we have our own package of to unravel here, unwrap. It's almost Christmas. We're
It is
unwrapping
almost Christmas.
How do you feel about this list, Anthony, that we have?
I like the list. I picked most of them. I'm happy with it.
Okay. There's a few that I think we're going to be on different sides of the fence here. But I'm ready when you are.
All right. And let's go. Battleshock.
Go.
This might sound crazy. A lot of people say it's one of the most useless rules in the game and never does anything. I think it's a little too strong sometimes because I've seen like Battleshock spirals. Like I've seen armies that, mostly the armies I play, surprise, surprise there, where Leadership 7 gets debuffed, sometimes all the way down to 9, and you just Battleshock, 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 can't score, can't buff yourself. Oh look, now you can't do as much damage. Oh, there's more alive than there should be. You're just spiraling down and down and down and out. Like, it's insane.
You definitely can spiral, especially the ones that had modifiers to it, like when you're -1. It can definitely hurt. It depends what you are. Space Marines are kind of protected against that. Like, you're not going to be 80% battle shocked when you're playing Space Marines because you just have a good chance of passing when you have a 6 up, even when you're rolling a 7. But yeah, if you're going into the 8s and 9s to roll your battle shocks, that could get really bad for you. I think it's in a decent place. Like, remember, instead of doing this, like what does battle shock actually do to you? You're going to get debuffed in the sense that most armies won't be able to. Some armies can't use their abilities, right? And like faction abilities.
Yeah, like for Tau, if they're battle shocked, you can't guide, which
exactly
you need that.
So like losing that is big, and then of course not being able to use stratagems against the unit, that can come in very costly. When you're 1,000 Suns, you can't use Cabal. That hurts a lot. So of course it could be very powerful in situational parts of the game, in specific armies as well. Because some armies just like, whatever, I'm battle shocked, I can't hold an objective. Like, okay, but like besides that, they don't lose much more besides not being able to use stratagems. So I think I'd rather do that than lose models for free. Just like it used to feel really bad when you had 30 Plague Bears and you roll, a 15 or 17 and you lose like 7 models for no reason after you already lost like 8 models. So I think it feels a lot better to do it this way, even though it can be a lot, like you just mentioned, worse for some armies. They feel it a lot more.
It is sometimes very matchup dependent. Like Tau into Chaos Knights can just, oh look, you're always battle shocked, so I'm buff and you can't do any of your stuff. But when models were lost, I didn't mind that as much because even if you lost like a chunk of your unit, especially in 9th, we only lost like 3 guys usually, at most.
It depends how big the bigger your squad is, the worse chance. So.
Well, in 8th there was the difference. In 9th there was every one you roll, you lose some guys, which, whatever, because your unit could still effective. You could still score. You could still use your strats. The specific purpose you took for that unit doesn't get deleted. Just because,
8th
look.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like 8th was very, very,
brutal.
Feel bad. 9th was a little toned. It was the same kind of thing, but toned down. It felt a little bit better. Now it's just like nobody loses models for free. No models leave the table unless you take them off with something shooting or something.
They have that one enhancement. Combat.
Yeah, and but now, like you said, sometimes some units might not be able to do anything for a couple turns if they get battle shocked over and over. Especially like I think the real strong battle shock stuff, like the Tyranid ones that only last 1 turn, I'm fine with that. Like if that was 4 turns or 2 turns or 3 turns, it'd be a lot worse. But being able to battle shock everything, I don't think should happen. Like that shouldn't be a tactic. I don't know. Like it's
yes,
really,
as a tactic, that'd be
really
very
handicapping.
Annoying. There's a reason we don't see that, but it's just if you see a full army like that, units could cause a spiral. Just look, no damage for you, more damage for me. So I'm just gonna keep pounding you down after you're already down. Like just get a kick in the
Some
ribs.
people will just say that's all we have. That's really the only tactic we can kind of do. And like you see Lucas do it with his Castle Tyranids. I played against it. It's brutal, but it is only 1 turn.
Wow, that was a fast 4 minutes.
That's the best way to look at it.
I didn't even pop up the picture. It's a battle shock roll.
Battle shock gone. What's next? On to auto win.
Auto win. So
What does
auto
that
win
mean?
is, do auto win strategies win tournaments? There are some strategies out there where you go and people go, oh, that's bullshit. That's so annoying to fight. I hate that. That just automatically wins. And then you never
auto-win
see
stratagem?
that strategies.
Oh, strategies.
And you never
Okay, that
see
makes more
those win
sense.
like tournaments. Sometimes you see weird stuff win. Sometimes you see typical things win. But like, have you seen that where, oh, you just take Custodes to auto win in some metas, or just spam this one unit that is unbearable?
Well, yeah. That's part of 40K. It's like one thing will be very broken in an army, and it gets spammed. It happens a lot. You see it with, I think Votan didn't take full control of that, what they had there, but like the what do they call the Hearthkin unit there with all the shots they can get and the rerolls.
Hearthguard,
That's
yeah.
a very powerful unit, but again, you can only do it to one. You can only do that once per turn to one unit, right?
Yes.
So like the control of that is well thought out. I like the way that functioned. That's why you didn't see Votan really dominating anything, but they did have a really powerful unit. I like that. But here's another example that's on the other end of that. Bully Boys. Yeah, I mean, you could just spam 3 units of those. There's like, if one unit had that, like the old Bully Boys when they had a 4-up Feel No Pain, if one unit could do that, it would be stupidly strong, even just one unit of Bully Boys. But being able to spam 3 of those with no, like, I don't have to spend I don't have to spend very much CP. It's just like built in. That kind of stuff can get really, I wouldn't even call it a strategy anymore, because it's just there in front of you. It's like, why wouldn't I do this?
I don't exactly agree with the idea of just auto win strategies win tournaments, because tournament players, especially at the top tables, they can adapt to the situation and go like, oh, you're just doing that weird stuff. Well, I know how to beat that, because it might seem automatically winnable, like win, but
Oh yeah.
here's how I counter it, here's how I stop you, or I just do this weird thing so you don't get full advantage of it. So
It's never an auto win. I wouldn't say nothing's an auto win. It's just gonna. I always tell you, all you can really do in this game is, rely on your knowledge of how to play the game. The more you know how to position yourself and put yourself in the best position possible, because you can never say this is an auto win. Like it's very situational, especially 10th edition where you're drawing cards. It's very situational, and things can you have to be able to adapt. So you can never just say this is going to auto win. All you can say is, I know this unit is going to put me in a very good position. If I take 3 of these units, I'm going to be in a better position than if I take another unit in their wake. Just like old, you know what I mean? I was going to say the old Death Company where auto includes or like auto strat to win, but they really weren't, because people were running what are they called? The Vanguards with the 4-up invuln and the 5-up Feel No Pain. And they were super tough. They didn't hit as hard in close combat, but they had their own thing. So there is no auto win. I don't believe there's an auto win button. I just think there's a current meta, and people that if you want a chance to win with an army, you're gonna have to run those combos.
Yeah,
You just
the Death
have to.
Company was a good suggestion for that, because there was a time where I saw people go, just take 30 Death Company with jump packs and automatically win. But you knew exactly how to stop that. You knew their weaknesses, and you knew they were glass cannons more than anything.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about that. I think a lot of people it became very obvious. The more like we play the game so much, it's just like you get the reps in, and you're like, on paper this is great. It sounds amazing. Everybody gets a power fist that hits on 2s with +1 to wound with a chappy. Yeah, that's great. But they literally fold like paper, and even with one unit can go with Lamarte's there and have a -1 damage, but they still go down very fast. And it's like, when I saw Sam running the 3 units of Vanguard veterans with jump packs, and the priest that give them a 5-up Feel No Pain, and they have a 4-up invuln with the shields, I'm like, now you can actually push some fly boys, these 12-inch moving units into units, and tank a few things, slow a few things down, screen, and then have your guys, your Death Company, come from behind and do some punching. But like I said, it just comes with repetition. Do you feel armies that don't take their specific meta have no chance at winning, or is it like an auto loss for them if they don't take it?
I'll tell you that next time, because we are past 4 minutes.
Just say yes or no. What do you think?
No, no, there are alternates you could take. Yes, there are
Yes.
alternate
So there's no auto win. You think there's no like meta for each army? Like if you don't take this, no chance of winning.
I think a mid player with an amazing list will lose to just better
Yes.
players with bad lists.
Exactly. That's what I agree with as well.
But
It happens.
now, Genestealer Cult have been dominating the meta. They're at a 60% win rate, and I think show off something we've said in the past before that
sure.
we could talk about soon. But yes, they're at a 60% win rate. They've won a couple
Yeah.
tournaments, and
Okay.
it's just from points drops. They've got almost every unit they have has gone in points drops. They're way cheaper. They still respawn, even if the respawning is weaker than it used to be. Aberrants are still great, even though they also took a hit. It's just everything is so cheap now, and they keep coming back. Which,
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think Genestealer Cult a little? Would it be overtuned or just undercosted?
Okay, I'll make 3 quick points with this, maybe 4. Quick, very quick. First one, I've said this over and over again. GW does not know how to adjust meta for competitive 40K. They're just it's not their thing. So leave that as what it is. And secondly, when they go for points like that, before the second part of this is, do I think Genestealer Cult needed a buff? Absolutely. They were like dog shit. So absolutely need a buff. I'm fine with them lowering points, but I think this is what GW does. They're just like, oh, they need their time in the sun. They were really bad, so like let's let them, make their rise and put them in the top meta. You don't need to do that. You really don't need to do that. You're like basically telling the GNC players like GSC players like, you guys can't win with your army. You have no chance of winning.
Here's the Band-Aid, more models.
Exactly. Let's just make it so cheap that even the worst of Genestealer Cult players can, win some games and feel good, which I'm fine with. But why not do it with like adding some mechanics, or do an FAQ where the army gets to do something, that feels better when you're playing it, not just I get to spam 40 of these guys now. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
I think it goes to show off as well that win rate isn't everything, because yes, they're at a 60% win rate, which is way above the Goldilocks zone they want, but they don't. I think they have like the 3rd or 4th most GT wins. Like, yes, they have a high win rate, which means they're doing good in the mid tables, but they're not winning as many tournaments as, say, I think the highest right now is Guard.
Well, how long has it been since they got the point increase, the decrease?
Hasn't it been like a month already?
That's not enough to like really get stats. But I mean, if
There's
they're
been
rising,
a couple dozen
it's a
GTs.
good.
It's not even rising. They are at the top by far.
Yeah, no, they're winning. Of course they're winning. They're
Win rate
spamming
wise.
out units again. Yeah.
But it just shows like they're not winning all the tournaments. So it's like the win rate isn't end all be all. They are doing well. They might be annoying as hell to fight at mid tables, but when you're at that final table, there's a good chance they just don't win it, even though they seem amazing.
And that's what I was saying about Blood Angels at that point when they were really good. People were like, they're the top army. I'm like, Thousand Suns. Just when it comes to that matchup where you're going to see Thousand Suns and Blood Angels at that time in the meta, Thousand Suns win that 9 out of 10 times, every time. So like 60% of the time, Blood Angels are losing every single time against Thousand Suns. But with the new meta, just to talk about that a little bit, things change as well, right? Like that Genestealer Cult, like flooding the board meta, it's really anti-meta for right now, because people have been going with more like vehicle spam, going back to that, because a lot of like you see like Dark Angels, their codex sucked, so they went with a heavier type of Gladius detachment with tanks and very minimal amounts of infantry units. They're just doing like secondary stuff with them, and then you have 3 blobs of your unkillable Terminators that sit there all game, your Knights. And same with Blood Angels, they're going back to more of a tank spam. So yeah, of course Genestealers are going to be flooding the board, controlling stuff. They're going to be top meta right now, because the meta has to shift a little bit again, and that's going to come with new codexes.
Team anti-meta. Well, good takes on Genestealer Cult. I like that one.
When will GW release new codexes? That's the question. Then we can really judge. Then we will really judge Genestealer Cult at that point.
They're doing a preview Friday for the next ones.
There you go.
But ready for the next one?
Yeah, supplements.
Supplements. Well, do you think GW is going to solve this supplement issue? Because there's been some rumors about there's 2 different ways they can do it. I think we talked about it a bit on stream last time, but one way is just separating them completely. If you're playing Blood Angels, you can only take the Blood Angels like book.
Yeah.
Which I think has the issue of, does that mean like they just cut them out of the Loyalist Space Marine book completely? Which to me is the issue of, does that mean they can no longer take Intercessors, or do they have to like add now Blood Angels Intercessors?
No, I think what it means is they are not allowed to use like the rules, like the detachment rules from you know, the initial, like the original Space Marines. So you won't be able to get Oath. You won't get all the stratagems, but I think you can still take the units. Huh?
You think no Oath?
Yeah, why they shouldn't be able to use Oath. Oath is for the that rule set of this. You should be in the Space Marine Codex only. Right? Because Blood Angels are their own codex.
Right now, the current rumor is just they're going to axe them out. They just can't take the detachments, is what the current rumor is, which I don't think will solve the issue.
That's weird. So is Oath of the Moment? Is Oath of the Moment
That's a
in
faction ability.
Is that in the Blood Angels Codex?
No, but it's on their data cards.
So it just carries over?
Yes.
I don't know.
I don't
know
think
how they're going to do that.
Cutting them out from the detachments will solve anything, because the best thing, like the supplements, how many of them are still taking like core Space Marine books other than like Dark Angels, right? Like you had the problem with Space Wolves taking Stormlance.
It doesn't affect Blood Angels in at all, because the
it doesn't
best
affect Blood
attachment
Angels. It doesn't affect Black Templars. It doesn't affect what's the other one? I forget the other one. But
so those are the only competitive ones.
Oh, I guess. But does that mean Space Wolves taking Stormlance is that big of an issue? No. It
made some good.
It's like Blood Angels having access to all the units from Space Marines, not the detachments. Who cares about the detachments?
Yeah.
So I don't think it'll solve the issue. They need to do more extreme changes, like maybe just make the Blood Angels Codex its own thing completely. Like here's Blood Angels Intercessors. They just slap Blood Angels in front of the name of all the Space Marine stuff. Give them their own points values. They could adjust it just for Blood Angels, so that way,
you don't need to.
Like if Chaplains are insane in Blood Angels, you don't nerf them for everyone else.
You mean because like a regular Blood Angels Intercessor gets +2 strength and +1 attack, so like they should be a little bit more expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that, where it's like, it's not fair to nerf Assault Intercessors for Blood Angels, affecting Ultramarines, affecting, what are they, Imperial Fists. Like, you're just hurting everybody because of one specific sub-detachment.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Which, that's why I don't think the current rumor will fix the problem. They're still going to have the exact same problem, except Space Wolves can't Wolf Jails effectively now. That's it.
Wolf Jail.
Hey, Wolf Jail got hit in the nuts too.
I'm fine with them doing that. I liked older editions where every faction felt like its own faction, and even they was just fluffier and more fun to play.
It also lets them do more micro adjustments.
Yes, like little point changes. It's going to be very tedious to do that though. Like Intercessors for Blood Angels are 100 points. Intercessors for Vanilla are 90, and Intercessors for Iron Hands are 120. It just gets tedious when you start thinking of it.
But they already did it for agents. Like, what are they? Grey Knight Terminators are more expensive to take for other armies than they are for.
Yeah, that's
agents.
Balancing. That's because of for balancing.
That's what they need, because supplements are stupid. They're Space Marine Plus. Why would you not run them, right?
Yeah, it makes sense. I just want to see what they do it. As long as it's streamlined properly and it works and it doesn't screw with the meta too much and it doesn't screw with your army too much, because then you're just going to see people not taking those things at all. Yeah, and then Space Marines are going to be stuck with their own little bubble of what they take. Yeah. I think we agree with that.
For the most part, yeah. All right, the next one. I don't think you understood the topic for this, but it's a pet peeve of mine.
What?
The terrain bloat. Like
terrain bloat?
Look at the terrain now, right? Look at WTC terrain. How many pieces of terrain are in there? Do you know?
Usually like 10, 12.
Exactly, 10 pieces of terrain. That is insane. 10 footprints. If you line them
medium.
up, that's almost
medium.
The only difference between medium and heavy is if it's more tall buildings or it's not.
Oh, there's only 10, and even in thick?
Yes. It's just there's more blue buildings.
And there's more like they can add crates and things like that.
The only difference is there's more like blue buildings, and sometimes they're switched which way they're facing.
Well, I told you, you know my standings on WTC. It's hide and seek.
It's hide and seek because it's footprints. It's not even just the terrain itself. That's almost a third of the board covered in can't do anything through it. And even GW, it's 8 pieces of terrain. Is it getting too heavy and simple?
So you know the history. I told you the history with WTC, right? Compared to
person,
ITC?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, so WTC has always been like played in Europe mainly, and then ITC was mainly played over here. And that was the whole thing. WTC was more, you had to have a different type of build to your army. Like you had to be like more able to do a variety of things because of the cards, for one. Second of all, I'm going to say WTC, the Maelstrom of War, basically the cards have become way better because they kind of they've become an amalgamation of ITC and WTC mixed in together, because the old WTC cards like Maelstrom of War were horrendous. I wouldn't play that even if I wanted to play for fun. I did not enjoy Maelstrom of War back in 8th edition and 9th edition. Hated it. But now it's become really good. Actually, 9th edition was okay, but it's become a lot better. But still, it's still not. People are getting sick of it. People are getting sick of playing WTC. We've talked to WTC players. They're like, I want to play GW terrain. And they're starting to say that more because it's not fun I can literally pinpoint every, like turn 1, I'm not going to be able to shoot half your army, maybe 75% of your army. You're going to move behind buildings. You're going to have all this, like, it's just too much. It becomes like playing, what's it called? Like we're playing StarCraft at that point. We're just remove all the terrain, put the footprints there, and let's play like a freaking video game right now.
That's basically what I meant by too simple. You can just lift up the terrain, draw a line where it's supposed to be, and play.
Yeah.
And
there's no thinking anymore. You just get a laser pointer and see where nobody can shoot you, and that's it. There's enough terrain to do it. Yeah. There's enough terrain to do that.
Which to me, it's terrain bloat. They're like more and more terrain keeps getting added more over time. I don't know if that's a consequence of the lethality of the edition, if it's the free war gear or some other rules, or just people don't like getting shot.
You can it's the terrain combined with the footprints, because the way footprints work are a lot different, and it's a lot different from how GW initially, like the way the game is supposed to be played, or when I say supposed to be played, the original Games Workshop rules. You're not supposed to be able to hide that easily, and shooting through windows was always a thing. First floor ITC was always a thing. You can't shoot through the first floor. But when you have a Titanic unit that's seen through a third story window, and I have Magnus and he's a 500-point model, and I can't shoot your stupid scouts because I can't see through a footprint, it gets, for me, it ruins the whole aesthetic of what the game's about. It doesn't feel real anymore. It just feels like I'm playing a video game.
I'm no longer thinking of the models as models.
Exactly.
I'm thinking them as just like a stat sheet.
Yes. So I like ITC for it's more balanced, but at the same time, it's a much different game, and it takes out a lot of units and armies that are fun to play suck in WTC, and then, like for instance, knights, and then you put knights on a GW board, and they're fun to play again. So I don't know. I think a good mixture. I think playing my best answer is like play a little bit of WTC and a little bit of 40K. Don't be one of those WTC players that are just win at all costs, and they're just like, I refuse to play on a GW board. Like I only play WTC footprints because that's the only way I know how to play, and that's the only way my army's built. I hate those players. I'm sorry. I don't care if that's a hot take, but those are people that I can guarantee got into 40K over the last 3 years, because those players like that never existed back in the day. Like this game was meant to be played to have a good time, chill with your friends, have a good time. You shouldn't be going out there just to sweat and hide your models the entire game. Shoot things, have fun, go through buildings, watch a big knight shoot from like across the board and snipe a tanko. That's what makes this game fun. There's my rant for the day.
Hey, there's the rant for this video. We got to get one every Rapid Ingress.
Okay. Yeah, you can call it, I don't know, we'll call it like the boomer rant or something.
Boomer rant.
A pop-up will come up, say boomer rant alert.
Yeah, the boomer alert.
All right. What do you
up.
think? But you agree with that?
Yeah. I mean,
yes or no?
it is. I built a lot of tables or armies just for WTC to be like, well, I know I can't shoot turn 1. I could do this. I can do that because this is the exact board.
Yep.
I don't know. It's like checkers or chess, like sometimes, where it's just like, here is the exact layout. I know my exact moves.
All right. On to the next one. Worlds.
Yes. The Worlds is upon us. It's
It is
this
on right
weekend.
now.
It's this weekend, 26th. It's the 26th.
Yeah.
And Warhammer community was posting about it. Lots of great pictures there. Now I know why they're there so early, because there's a lot of setup to do. And it was great seeing the pictures. There's a lot of people I recognize. I saw Ryan Bell, Nick Jagalo. Justin saw some guys he knew. Scary was there.
Scary just left today, so
No, he was posting
He's
about
on-
it the other day.
I think he was just saying. I think the other day he said he was on his way there. He just posted a ticket. But anyways, it's a three. It's
It's
8
Worlds.
games.
Is this the second Worlds or the second one, right?
I think it's the second one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next year we'll try to get. We were really busy this year setting stuff up with our new things, but we will be more into the competitive next year and try to get our own tickets into that. We'll go to LVO and we'll do all the good stuff.
I'm gonna make it.
We'll try to get to the Worlds next year because it is fun to go there with everybody, and it's a lot of games. It's 8 games. It's you're playing great players. These are supposedly some of the best players in the world because these guys are like winning big tournaments to get these tickets. So they're not. There's nobody there that's. You're gonna be thinking every game. There's bottom tables are gonna be like probably I'd say mid to high tables on a normal tournament because everybody here is going to be an elite player.
Everybody's
So
a GT winner there.
Yeah, so everybody's a really good player. It's it really challenges how much you know the game, how much you know your opponent, how much you know the other armies. It's a good test of your skill. Put you on bring you to reality with things.
I've even seen people online just super excited for it. They're like, yeah, my goal is that hopefully next year or in a couple years I can make it to Worlds. I'm going to pump up, train. And I'm like, wow, Worlds is becoming a big deal for people. But
I mean, get your ticket, get out there. It's fun.
The bigger question is, what army do you think is going to win? Or maybe even player if you have a good guess.
I don't think I want Scary to win because, Canada, and I think he's a good player. Nick. I hope Nick does well. He always does really good with his guard.
Nick Jagalo, yeah.
So I think he has a good chance. I don't know who else is there. Who's there from Art of War?
I don't remember the names exactly, but probably
Is
most of them.
John Lennon there? Are those guys there?
Oh, yeah, John Lennon's definitely.
Jack or Nick Nanavati. I don't know who went out there, but those guys obviously have a great chance anytime they hit a tournament, especially the majors. I heard, what do they call Tabletop Titans? I don't know who's going from Tabletop Titans, but I know somebody from Tabletop Titans got in, so they're going to be there. It'll be fun to watch. I'll watch some of the streams. Is
Warhammer
our friends?
Warhammer or GW.
Oh, they're streaming it. Okay, so it'll be good.
So I don't think the other two are streaming it. But I'm going to put my money on Guard. Maybe, I don't know if Nick's going to do it. I want him to, but I'm putting my money on Guard because everyone says they're OP right now.
I think Nick or... I think there's going to be Genestealer called up there for sure.
You think so?
And there'll be a few, and then I think Thousand Suns will still have a push up there in the top 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Thousand Suns, they got hit hard, man.
They did, but they're still good.
Well, this is gonna be cool. It's a good event going on.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some surprises.
I just say get GW out of competitive 40K, and I'll be happy again. Sorry.
I hope they keep organizing Worlds at least.
Do that, but when GW gets out of controlling the rules for competitive 40K, it'll be a good scene again. I'm sorry for the hot take, but they make models and they make a gaming system, but this is a company that's been around for almost 40 years, and they were never seriously concerned with competitive 40K and competitive gaming. They were around the hobby and playing the game and having fun, and now they just switched into a different gear, and I'm sorry, but it's not good. This is not a good state of 40K for competitive 40K. A lot of people are bored.
It's ever been.
I don't care. It's the most boring. This is the most heartless 40K version that I've ever seen. People are bored. People were bored of this game 2 months into 10th edition. I literally looked at the 10th edition rules and I said, this is going to suck. This is going to be the worst edition. I'm sorry to start harping on it, but it's the reason why I'm so pissed off is because guys like, I'm not going to name names, but guys that I'm really close to, friends of mine that love this game, are starting to hate the game, and that pisses me off because there's an issue with what's going on with the game, and we have to look into it deeper because guys that have been playing this game for 2 decades, a decade, are starting to hate it all of a sudden. It's not them, it's the game. So there's my other rant. Boomer rant number 2.
Boomer alert.
Let's go on to the last subject, and let's get on to the last subject.
Yes, so Worlds actually leads into this one. Are FAQs
Yes.
from it and other GW tournaments like official? Do they count? Because there's keywording here. It says it will be in the next data slate. So we know it's happening. We know it's coming. Do we treat it as official?
Do we treat the FAQ stuff as official?
Because it's right now, it's for the Worlds. People asked some questions. They answered it for Worlds.
Usually, you'll see. Yeah, you'll usually see trickles of rules that are coming.
This isn't even guessing though, like a trickle. They said this will be in the next data slate.
Yeah.
So we know it's happening. So
Yeah.
we have the official wording from the official word of mouth itself, GW, at an official tournament, and it will be coming. To me, that's
they're
official.
coming.
But should we right now play it as if it was real?
Sure. I mean, it's not going to be in other tournaments yet, so I would say no. Just because if it's not going to be in the tournament you're playing in, or if you're playing competitively and you're trying to practice for a tournament that's not going to have that rule set in there, then why play like that?
Yeah, do your tournament's rules, yes, but if
Yeah.
I go to the store and I say, you know what it was? Aquilans. Of course it was Aquilans. They said you cannot 3-inch rapid ingress them.
Yeah, they're going to get rid of that. Obviously, I told you it's going to be auto nerfed because it's stupid.
To me, it should never have been possible in the first place, and they
Exactly.
officially said you cannot do this. So
Well,
should you
I mean-
am I allowed to do it right now? If you were playing me
Yes.
today, you would let me do it.
yeah, because it's not an official rule yet.
Really? No, to me it's the opposite. I'm like, that's just confirming my bias, where I'm like, you can't do it in the first place
No, tournaments are not going to be using those rules.
for the next week.
Yeah, but if you're in a tournament this week, is what I'm saying. We're not talking about long term. Obviously, long term, those are going to be the new rules.
we've
But
known
like,
about it
if you
for
have a
2 weeks
tournament
now.
coming up next week, are you going to play with that rule? No.
I don't know. To me, I wouldn't want to use that because I'm like, hey, we've known about it for 2 weeks. We know it's coming out. To me, it's official. It's just official word.
Are we talking about a tournament or just playing by yourself with another player?
I guess it depends because both.
If it's a tournament, it's going to depend on if they want to run that rule yet.
Ask a
Depends when the
tournament.
tournament's happening. Exactly. So if a tournament's not running it and I'm practicing for 2 weeks running up to it, I'm not playing with it. If they are going to use that rule, then I'm using it. But
But
we
if
all
you were
know
to
it's
play
going to
me-
be unofficial.
But if you were just to play me a competitive game right now, not as practice.
I would say, how do you want to do it? How do you want to play this?
Okay, at least you have more reasonable answers than me. Because to me, I'm just
Yeah.
like, they officially said no. I'm not doing that. You shouldn't do that.
I would just say, how do you want? It's not official yet. It's not. If it's not official, like I want to see the released FAQ. Until that point, I'll just ask my opponent, how do you want to play your, what are they called, Aquilans? How do you want to do it?
Because there's other stuff in there as well where it's like there were other FAQs. Just to me, it's
Yeah.
like it's 5 layers of official, except technically it's not. So to me, it's just official. Oh, it's a different mindset.
I just say play. Just be. If it's just a fun game, who cares? Play it
Be
the way you
reasonable.
want to play it. Just play it. Yeah, play it the way you want to play it.
I don't know.
not a
I've
big
seen
deal.
so many arguments on it. Like sometimes when I pick, you're just when I see like an endless argument going on and I'm just wondering why.
They're getting nerfed, so
Good.
it doesn't matter.
And the points update's happening, so they're gonna get slapped again.
Told you.
Good. Yeah, good. I'm not gonna be upset about that.
You can't 3-inch deep strike and do all that bull crap, and it's too easy. It's way too easy to do like a million. I'll do containment, and then I don't know. It's just too much.
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna stick to my guns though that it's basically official in everything.
At least you
but,
didn't
like,
buy the models.
We have the models. Justin's painting them right now.
Yeah, but we got them in a kill team set. You
That's the
didn't
only way
go
to
out
get
and,
it.
No, but you didn't actually go out and get that set just
Oh.
to get those models.
Oh, after I didn't get my Casterkin one, yeah, and I'm not buying that stuff again.
Yeah. But anyways, that's the end of Rapid Ingress. Pretty good. We went through that pretty quickly. A couple of rants, a few heated subjects here. Overall, I think GW's doing a good job. Like I said, we do get heated about 10th edition a little bit. They're making adjustments. They're coming along. We'll see, but still, they haven't won me over as far as like WTC being, the best way to play 40K now has not won me over at all. Not
Like,
yet.
you've been in competitive far longer than me, and even in the
Mm-hmm.
time I've been in it, I've seen what GW's done to it. Like it's,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's certainly something.
7th edition was so fun. Let's go back to 7th. All
Where's
right.
Justin? You're gonna call him like that.
Did
come
somebody say
sprinting
7th edition?
He loves 7th edition.
I know. I'm saying he's going to be around the corner. He's just going to peek around the corner like, who said 7th edition? I know flocks of people like that I've played this game with for 2 decades, and I'm not going to name their names on the streams and stuff, but you know them from Romel's store. I'm talking like 20 people, not like 1 or 2. 20 people that stopped playing 40K after 7th edition. They're just like, screw this. This is going in the wrong direction. They knew right away, and they're like, we're playing heresy. Screw 40K. And it's turning people off, some of the ways that they're making changes. I do like changes. I'm not scared of changes. I adjust. But when I'm not having fun anymore is when I stop playing.
And we can't call you boomer if you like changes.
I like changes. I'm not a boomer. I'm
No,
younger
no,
than you.
boomer
You're the real boomer. You're the psyop boomer.
The psyop boomer. Yeah, the
You're
youngest
just-
one here. I'm the psyop boomer.
You are though. You act the oldest sometimes, except for when you're on Discord.
What's Discord?
Then it's like for real, no cap, mewing.
All
All right, guys.
Cancel
Remember to like,
everything.
comment, subscribe. Cancel everything. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you, VTS5. This is his favorite show, by the way. So thanks to the First King, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care.